Hey, NightReiign here. So, I've been asked to make a DeathKnight guide. Quite a few people have asked this, so I finally decided to make one. The things I'm going to cover in this video should increase your DeathKnight skill quite a bit. My aim, even if you have 2500 experience in Arena to 0 experience, is to teach everyone something new, hopefully. The things I'm going to be covering are talents, glyphs, macros, add-ons, damage, bursting, how to use Dark Sim a bit better if you struggle with it, Death Grip because of Windwalker DK and people sort of struggle with it a bit. Just general CC as Death Knight, and probably like a little bit of key binding if I can. I'll be posting a link to all of my macros that I go over in this video, as well as probably add-ons, just straight up links to Curse or wherever it may be, that sort of thing. Okay, so talent-wise, alright. Pretty much Plague Leech is the only option here. Since diseases is pretty much one of the biggest things in for us as dual wield, the extra 2 death runes you get from Plague Leech are just amazing, and it's every 25 seconds, so it's kind of silly not to go this. Lichborn is your only go-to in this one. You can use Lichborn for many things. Like you can use it obviously for, as you can see, it says draw upon unholy energy for 10 seconds. You become undead, increasing leech, which is basically your like your healing. So you actually get better healing off it. So if you ever need to heal yourself, let's say in a duel or in a 2v2 situation, like in twos, as double DPS, Lichborn is really good for that. Also, it can be used for, see, a lot of, what I've noticed is a lot of Death Knights, they'll use AMS, Anti-Magic Shield, for things like to prevent being polyed, but you can actually use Lichborn for the same thing. It does, when you have Lichborn active, you can't be polyed. So that's just something to keep in mind. What else? You also can. There's actually another big thing with Lichborn. If you're versing anything with like a priest, you need to be aware that they can actually cast shackle on you, which will basically, they can only do it when you've got Lichborn active. So you need to have a cancel or a macro for Lichborn, just in case you see them casting Shackle. That's really big. Chillblains is pretty much the only go-to thing here whenever you're playing with, like, I don't know, Paladin or Windwalker, that sort of thing. If you use Asphyxiate, what ends up happening is if you're playing with a Windwalker and you Asphyxiate, let's say this kill target here, and then they go to Fist of Fury, it DRs the Fist of Fury so they can actually get out of it, and it prevents a lot of damage, so you don't ever want to go Asphyxiate. Blood Tap is amazing. If you go either of these two, it's kind of shit, to be honest. Blood Tap works really, really well with Death Siphon. And if you're worried about having to press an extra button, I've got you covered with the macro section for this, so you actually never need to press Blood Tap. It's just, yeah, in the macros, you'll never actually need to do it. So don't worry about that. Runic Corruption can be the only other alternative here, but honestly, just Blood Tap. Just go Blood Tap, because you don't actually need to press it with what I've got coming. I've seen some people going Death Pact. Let's just have a look at this for a sec. Alright, so Death Pact. Let's learn Death Pact. So what does it do? Heals the Death Knight for 50% of max health. So you'd obviously want to go Blood Presence if you were using this, but you shouldn't. And absorbs incoming healing equal up to 20. Yeah, so you don't ever really want to use this at the moment. So Death Pact. Let's see. Ready? Let's see what it heals for. Boom. 215k. That was fabulous. So that's not that great. I'll have to wait for that to come off thing, but that's fine. Trust me, you can get from two Death Siphons, you can get that 215k. So, and I'll show you how to in a moment. Remorseless Winter, Gorfian's Grasp, kind of pointless. I mean, that could be fun in, I don't know, maybe BGs or RBGs, I guess, because I mean, if you're playing with like maybe a Mistweaver Monk in RBGs and they have a leg sweep, you can kind of time that so you can leg sweep the entire team. But if you had a Windwalker in RBGs, that would actually be so much better because you could just Gorfian's Grasp into Fist of Fury leg sweep out and probably kill most of the enemy team in like one burst, which would be pretty funny. As dual wield, don't ever go this because this works off runic power, as you can see, and it's just terrible. I guess, and this is not very good either. I mean, you could use it, but it's not worth it. So that's just the talents covered. Oh, also, if you're doing like obviously PvE, that's probably better than necrotic, but still, this is really good. So, okay, now we're going to go to glyphs. So there's probably like 4 glyphs I switch between. I keep these 3 up, and I also sometimes switch out this as well. It's all very much dependent on like what you're versing. So with Icy Touch, basically you pretty much always want to have this if you can. It's really strong. You can dispel a lot of things, and I've got an add-on for this which I'll go over in the next video, in the next segment, sorry. It basically lists whatever you can dispel off the target or focus or whatever you've got it set to. So, I mean, you can dispel Bop, Sacred Shield, just so many things. So I'll go over that anyway. Sometimes when you're playing though, you'll find yourself with runic stuff because you'll be forced into Blood Presence at times. And this is actually really good for those moments, and even if you're not forced into it, this is still really good to run against certain comps, because if you're going to get slowed, like other DK comps, where you know that they're probably going to be running, what's it called, the chill lanes and that, which obviously slows the enemy, so all they have to do is just root you, anything like that, and you're going to be slowed, and you'll have awesome regen. Like, you get lots of runic power, which gives you lots of frost strike, so it's really good, especially in like 2s, I guess. So if you're versing a warrior, they're going to more than likely slow you, and when they do, they're just going to give you so much damage, so you can literally just sit Blood Presence against warrior teams in 2s and not die because you're just going to parry everything. One thing to note though, when you are versing anything like that, you need to be facing them. So like, if you're running away from a warrior, he's going to be doing damage to you, even if you're in Blood Presence, like quite a lot. So always face them. Like, you can just sort of do that, like, to get backwards away from them. Just make sure you're facing them. Even backpedaling, like, it's not good to do, but if you're versing a warrior and you've got to just do it to get behind a pillar, then just dart away. That's fine. So don't listen to what everyone says. You can do that. So if there's certain comps, like if you're versing anything with warriors and that, like this, like Turbo for example, this can be great to run actually against Turbo. I often pretty much always run this over Dark Sim, depending though. Like if there's a Resto Druid, I'll actually run Dark Sim, but I may switch out Glyph of Regen Magic for that, for the runic power, just because, I mean, warriors physical damage, and yeah, you only really need to have this for Ascendance and stuff, I guess, or whenever your healer calls for it. Dark Sim Glyph though is actually amazing to run as much as possible. Just, I mean, if you're not that great at Dark Sim,